This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for May 16, 2023, police called in to probe alleged sexual assault of schoolgirl in Manchester. Police have been called in to investigate an alleged case of sexual assault of a schoolgirl by a group of boys at a high school in Manchester. A senior official at the school confirmed that a report was made to the police following the alleged incident on Friday. It is alleged that sometime Friday, 6 boys sexually assaulted a grade 9 student on the school compound. We are currently doing some investigations into the matter. From all indications, I know that a report of such was made, and the matter is currently being investigated, the senior official said, while adding that a report has been made to the police. Statistics from the police show that up to April 30, there were 4 reported cases of rape in Manchester, compared to 8 for the corresponding period last year. Siblings arrested in St. Elizabeth following firearm seizure. A 24-year-old St. Elizabeth woman and her 32-year-old brother were arrested following the seizure of an illegal firearm during a joint police-military operation in Dry Harbour District near Lacovia on Monday. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Kenneth Chin, told the news that shortly after midday, a snap raid was conducted in the area. During the operation, a knapsack was searched which contained a chrome .45 semi-automatic pistol with a magazine containing 4.45 cartridges. 2 siblings, a 32-year-old male and a 24-year-old female, were arrested in connection with the find, he said. I thank the teams who are making the best use of the limited resources in maintaining the operational outputs, which are reaping success. The parish is safer because of your effective police presence, he added. The latest incident follows Friday's seizure of 3 firearms by the St. Elizabeth Police in Luana and Spring Park. Superintendent Chin reiterated the importance of citizens partnering with the police. I must also highlight that the police-citizens relationship in the parish, which has resulted in several successes, including a 180% increase in the number of illegal firearms taken out of the hands of criminals when compared to last year, he said. Man gets 3 years for accidentally killing best friend. A man who accidentally killed his best friend and then fled the scene in a panic has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. A tearful Godfrey Nico Brown learned of his fate when he appeared before the St. James Circuit Court last week. He was represented by attorneys at law Albert Morgan and Shernika Jackson. On April 20, Brown pleaded not guilty to murder, guilty to manslaughter, and guilty to illegal possession of firearm. During the mitigation hearing last Thursday, Morgan emphasized Brown's attributes and antecedents, highlighting that the only aggravating factor was his possession of an illegal firearm, which ultimately led to a fatality. High Court Justice Judith Pusey subsequently sentenced Brown to 3 years, 5 months and 2 weeks in prison on the firearm charge and 2 years, 5 months and 2 weeks in prison on the charge of manslaughter. The sentences will run concurrently, so he will end up serving the longer term. According to court documents, the shooting occurred on October 26, 2022. It is alleged that 18-year-old Nicardo Gray of Cornwall Courts was on the road in front of a friend's house at the complex when Brown, who had a firearm, went outside to greet him. An explosion was heard and Brown was heard saying he never meant to shoot Gray and that he had been unaware that there was a bullet in the chamber of the gun. Brown then fled the scene. Shortly after, Gray was seen lying on the ground with a gunshot wound to the right side of his face. He was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Brown later turned himself into the police. Cop mowed down by biker on Mandela Highway rushed to hospital. A police constable was rushed to hospital with a head injury after he was mowed down by a motorcycle on the Mandela Highway in St. Andrew on Sunday. Reports reaching the news are that sometime between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., the policeman was part of a team carrying out duties at a vehicular checkpoint when a motorcyclist was signaled to stop. The biker reportedly disobeyed the police's instruction and, in a bid to elude the lawmen, mowed down the constable and proceeded along. The injured cop was rushed to hospital where he received more than 10 stitches to a wound in the back of his head and was later released. In the meantime, the suspect was pursued, caught by the police, and slapped with a battery of charges, including dangerous driving, disobeying police signal, no driver's license, no protective helmet, no insurance coverage, and riding motorcycle without owner's consent. He is scheduled to appear in court on June 19, 2023. A video of the immediate aftermath of the incident, showing the injured cop being assisted by colleagues to a waiting motor vehicle, has been circulating on social media. St. James MP condemns killings in her constituency and parish. Member of Parliament for St. James West Central, Marlene Malahou-Fort, has condemned the recent spate of murders in the Mount Salem section of her constituency and the wider parish. Last week, Mount Salem was one of 3 St. James communities rocked by double murders. 3 people were also killed in the Canaan-Dumfries section of the parish in 2 separate attacks. On Saturday morning, a business operator and another man were also shot and killed by a lone gunman posing as a customer in Greenwood in the parish. Then Saturday night, the police were summoned to the Mount Zion community following the gruesome discovery of the bullet-riddled bodies of 3 men. Malahou-Fort, who is also Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, said she is concerned about the wanton blood spilling. The multiple killings in Mount Salem and other areas in St. James are of major concern to me as a Member of Parliament for that part of Mount Salem and also for the government. Every right-thinking citizen in St. James should condemn the killings, she stated. After we have worked so hard to bring peace and tranquility to the area, we cannot afford for St. James to go back to where it was a few years ago. We cannot afford it. We have to send a clear signal that we will not tolerate any level of violence, gun violence and murder in this space, she emphasized. Gun and ammunition seized at wharf in Montego Bay. The police are investigating another gun and ammunition find at the ports in St. James. The contraband enforcement team seized a firearm and several rounds of ammunition at the wharf in Montego Bay. It is understood that the illegal items were found wrapped in sheets that were packed in a barrel. The discovery was made during a search sometime after 2 p.m. Firearm seized in West Kingston. Lawmen attached to the Kingston Western Division seized a 19mm Briscoe pistol and an empty magazine on Gem Road, Trenchtown in Kingston 12 yesterday. Reports are that about 12:30 p.m., lawmen were conducting a snap raid in the community when a premises was searched. The firearm was discovered by the lawmen in a blue plastic bin outside the dwelling. No one has been arrested in relation to the seizure. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.